Welcome to Youth to Glory, the new TEW save for TEW 9. So the rules for this save are quite simple, but I've given you a little graphic here to help you understand them. We start with the WWF in January 1992. Nobody we sign can be older than 30 years old. Nobody who's over 40 can win the world title, and nobody who's over 35 can win the IC or, in the future, US titles. Anyone over 40 must be moved into an out-of-the-ring position at their next contract, and the priority is pushing the younger stars. And now that's all out of the way, I say we get straight into this. So come on, guys, let's go. Hello there and welcome to episode 5 of Youth to Glory, the save where we take WWF from 1992, focusing on the youth of the wrestling world. We've already seen the introduction, you know what this is. It's episode 5, it's the first episode post-Royal Rumble. It's the first episode with our new WWF World Heavyweight Champion, Sid Justice. So, without further ado, make sure you subscribe. It helps me out an awful lot, and leave a thumbs up. And let's get into this episode. And, oh, this is not a good start. I thought sending these three out would be a phenomenal start, but Sid comes out, the WWF Winged Eagle, proudly over his shoulder. Finally hearing the cheers of the fans. And he starts going on about how, over the past few months, even I started to doubt if I could do it. But I stand here in front of you today proving Sid is the champ. And he gets interrupted by Hulk Hogan, who apparently throws in some shoot comments. He's still pissed off for not winning the Rumble, apparently. I'll pay him off after this show. But boy, this looks like it's going to be quite worrying. Hogan comes down and goes, you know what, Sid, I respect you, we're friends. But now you have something that I want. And you threw me over the top rope to get it. You didn't pin me though. And I don't know, mate, will there be a question of the legitimacy of your title reign until you can beat Hulk Hogan? But don't worry, brother, I'm still proud of you as a friend. And they both get interrupted by the former IC champion, Bret Hart. And Bret goes, Hogan, I'm fed up of this, honestly. I have soiled away in this mid-card watching you dominate the top of this company for so long. I know I can out-wrestle you. I know I could beat you. I've just never been given that chance to. And Sid, you know what, I do respect you. But now I want that title. I'm done with the IC belt. I want the world title. And I'll prove it tonight. I'll get my half brother, Jim. We'll bring back the Hart Foundation for one night against you two. And I'll show you the best technical wrestler in the world is Bret Hart. And it is announced later in the show, but I don't actually have a definitive segment for it, at No Way Out, which is our February pay-per-view. We will have Bret Hart versus Hulk Hogan. The winner will face Sid at WrestleMania. We then go on to, well, the other half of that IC title feud, which Jimmy Hart is cutting a promo with Earthquake and Typhoon regarding the Mountie and Shawn Michaels, and going, you know, Mountie, I should have seen this coming. I really should have seen this coming. You were a prize fighter, and somebody else gave you the shot. You threw me away to get someone who you thought would do better for you, and you know what? I respect it. I'd do the same. I've thrown away so many clients to get better ones. But my boys here, Earthquake and Typhoon, you know, they don't take as kindly to betrayal as I do. So, I hear you're in a little tag team match with your new friend next. Show us what you've got. Because at No Way Out, you're taking on these two behemoths. And you will learn there's no price on betrayal. We jump straight into that match as the Mountie and Shawn Michaels pick up the win over the Simpsons. Shawn pins Steve Simpson with Sweet Chin music. The Mountie, 64, 66 even, 64 for Shawn. They don't have bad chemistry, which is good. They're not going to be a regular tag team. They're sort of two guys who share a manager and are aligned. But this is just sort of, it's glad that they don't have bad chemistry. It means I could always position them as a tag team further down the line. Although hopefully Shawn will be much higher up the card by then. A 62 though, I'm not going to moan about. And afterwards, they start chatting, they grab a microphone. And Shawn goes, Jimmy, I'm glad you understand. The Mountie was never going to win the title with you. You never stood a chance. Jimmy, when was the last time any of your clients actually held gold? Even the Nasty Boys. Bet you say they're part of your family. They barely come out. You barely go out with them. You know, you negotiate behind the scenes, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to it in the ring, you do nothing for them. I gave the Mountie an offer. I told him the future. I have ditched my dead weight in Marty Jannetty. I have brought on Sherry to be the beautiful minds behind this operation. And the Mountie, of course he bought in. Who wouldn't? So we accept your challenge. But if you think the IC title is ever going to end up in the Hart family, in the first family of wrestling, God, that name's a joke. And so is your career, Jimmy. 63, good promo. The Rocket Owen Hart picks up a quick victory over Repo Man. It was either this or put him in the main event, but I think the main event is going to be too long for someone who's unimportant. I just want to get him into that recognisable category. So a win over Repo Man, I think, is a strong way to do it. Savage arrives at the building. You know, I finally dealt with Jake Roberts. And I believe in values, like to forgive and forget once the debt is paid. And Jake, your debt is paid. I have no ill will against you anymore. But if you ever come back for me again, or my family, I will put you down, and this time you will not recover. Well, I say that, he's not even here, so I might have done that this time. And he gets interrupted by Ric Flair. And Flair's like, Randy, why do we even allow you in the building? In 1992, you have appeared in the building 2 times before this. The first time, you got suspended for 2 weeks because you couldn't control your anger. The second time, you had an unsanctioned match because the company was genuinely worried about your sanity and following the rules of professional wrestling. Whereas look at me. I've had enemies in my past. Of course I have. And I will settle my debts with them, as you like to say. But right now, I'm just fed up of you even being allowed to walk around here. I don't understand it when you've got me, the excellent professional wrestler, and of course, a stickler for the rules. I am class, and you're trash. And yet they love you. No, Randy, I just can't live with that. So yeah, I have some other things I want to sort out. But don't go too far, Randy. Because eventually, your debt to the Society of Professional Wrestling must be paid. And I'm your collector. We get a singles match here as Rowdy Roddy Piper defeats Conan El Barbaro. 11 minutes. Again, gives Conan a competitive match against a big name. But again, he's going to lose. We know this. It's 1992 Conan in the WWF. He's not going to be a major star. Right now. He could do, but not right now. Piper chokes him out with a sleeper. Not too shabby. Need to work out exactly what Piper's path to Mania is. After we focused heavily on the Mountie versus Bret Hart, and now we're going into the Mountie versus Jimmy Hart. Where is Piper's road to WrestleMania? The Gilberts cut a promo. Doug does obviously the main lifting. Says, nobody ever gave us a shot when we arrived here. Just a few weeks ago. And now, we just beat the Beverly Brothers at the Royal Rumble. Take us seriously now. But there's another team who I think maybe has been disrespecting us a bit in the back. I heard your promo after you won the title. I heard what you were saying in the locker room. Brian Knobbs, Jerry Sags. We heard you. Word spreads around here. Telephone, telegram, tele-wrestler. It got back to us. So next week, we're going to be out in that ring. And we want you to come out. Because if you're going to say that to us, say it to our goddamn faces. 49, weakest promo of the night so far. But I'm not going to moan. And we then cut to Brian Knobbs and Jerry Sags, like, Gilberts want to talk to us. You guys haven't even been here for a cup of coffee. And you believe you have the right to call us out? Oh, grow up. And they just walk off the screen. And your main event, Sid and Hogan versus Jim and Brett. And Sid picks up the win, pinning Jim with a chokeslam. Come on, look who was in the match. Who was going to take the pin? It was Jim. Sorry, Jim, but yeah. 75 rating overall, 72 for Hogan, 71 for Brett, which considering their pop difference is very good. 67 for Sid and a 59 for Jim. Not too bad. And afterwards, Hogan didn't shoot this time, so this was better. Sid's music plays after he won. He holds up the title. And just like we did 3 weeks ago, the person whose music doesn't play is clearly frustrated. But unlike Sid 3 weeks ago, who won that match, and Bobby points this out, Hulk has no right to feel slighted here. Sid picked up the win. Sid is the world champion. They have every right to play Sid's music. Gets an 80 rating, and the show overall Get to 74. We didn't have a storytelling match. Damn it, that's my fault. We lose Pop in more regions. Look, we're going to get worse before we get better. We're going to go into a slump, I reckon. But it's the early 90s. If we didn't, it wouldn't be WWF. But that also gives us the perfect low-pressure situation to really work on these young guys. To build, I don't know, a new generation of main eventers. Oh, why does it take me 5 episodes to think of that pun? God's sake. So, I assume, yeah, we made a bit of money, so the debt is clearing. That's good. And, yeah, it's all over America. But what's more important than that is, what do you guys think? Are you guys enjoying the stories so far? Next episode should be out on Thursday. If you want more videos, though, you've got to hit that like button. The more you hit that like button, the more likely I am to go, oh, okay, let's give them an extra video. Just saying, guys. But let me know in the comments down below what you thought. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!